Hello, everyone. Well, since I last spoke with you, Biden had his State of the Union address. Trump made some comments about Jewish people, and um, the the there was a bridge that was that collapsed when a ship hit the bridge, and um, that was sad because 5 people were drowned in the water, and sorry for the people that drowned in the water and the bridge got collapsed by the ship hitting it. There were some more problems with the Boeing 737s. The Boeing 737s, the quality is just not there anymore. Used to be the highest quality and very, very safe. It was considered the safest way to travel is by air. Now it's not so safe anymore. It's not so safe anymore because there's so many problems with the Boeing 737s that are being manufactured now. So what can we do about this situation with the world and the way it is always? I'm going to get started on Biden's State of the Union address. This was supposedly, or supposed to be, Biden's finest hour. And it's probably the best speech Biden ever gave. However, he lied several times during his speech. So is it really his finest hour if he takes to lying in his speech? I noticed he lied several times. And I didn't have the time or the wherewithal to listen to his State of the Union address again and again and write down all of his lies. But he lied several times during the State of the Union address. And somebody even shouted liar when he was making a remark, but he made other remarks too that they could have pointed out were lies, and they didn't do it. They didn't point out that he lied so much. Another thing he did was he shouted at the top of his lungs. Like, isn't that what Adolf Hitler did? Shout at the top of his lungs while he was giving speeches. It's not a good look for Biden. It's not a good look at all for him to be shouting during his speeches. I guess he wanted to give it great emotional emphasis, but he didn't realize that he was copying Hitler. So, and also, well, he flubbed up a few times, but it was obvious that he was upset reliving the memories from the past, like JFK's assassination. He was reliving it, and he stuttered, but he has a stuttering problem. But it's usual that he would get upset by that, so that wasn't a big deal. But he showed that he could give a speech, and the speech was well written, but it was full of lies, and he shouted. And another thing was he was very divisive. He was saying, "You MAGA Republicans, we must root you out. Republicans, come and join us. Let's be bipartisan." A bipartisan coalition of people, as long as you're not a MAGA Republican, right? So divisive. So that's Biden's State of the Union address. Now, Trump recently made some remarks that were, and it's so explosive of a subject, I'm even afraid to touch it or go near it. But he said about Jewish people that if they voted for a Democrat, that they must hate Israel. He said that, not me. Not me. I didn't say that. It was what Trump said. And I don't think that he should be saying that. And I don't like it. And I'm beginning to doubt his sanity and his wherewithal when he makes remarks like this, because you just don't mess with, how do you say you don't mess with Texas? Well, you don't mess with Jewish people either, because they can get really mean, and they're not afraid to fight dirty. They're not afraid to fight. Jewish people aren't afraid to fight, and they're very caring of their own, and they don't like you to make to somebody to say that they don't like their religion and they don't like their country and they should be ashamed of themselves. That's not for Trump to be saying, because he's not Jewish. He isn't Jewish, and he shouldn't be saying this about people. Now, I understand why he said it. I understood why he said it. It's people like Antony Blinken, Chuck Schumer, and even Biden himself, who said that he said again during his State of the Union that he wants a two-state solution, which isn't going to work. This two-state solution isn't going to work. It has to be Israel in charge. That's the only way. The only thing that's going to work is for Israel to be in charge. So, Antony Blinken constantly hammering away at Israel. Israel declined to talk to the Biden administration. They declined talks with the Biden administration because they knew the Biden administration just wanted to hammer them to call a ceasefire, whether Hamas was willing to cooperate or not. They just want a ceasefire. And they don't want Israel invading a certain part of Gaza anymore. They want them to call it off and roll back their troops and let Hamas win. They want to let Hamas win. That's what the hostage crowd that are pulling for the hostages, that's what they want. They want a ceasefire and they want to let Hamas win. And the pro-Hamas crowd, the Muslims of America that side with Hamas, they want to see Hamas win. They want to see Israel quit and Hamas to win. So Israel's all on their own right now. It's Biden's fault. But you know what? He knows his people. He knows that he won't get reelected unless he gets tough on Israel. Because that's what the people want. And even if he does get tough on Israel, they'll say it wasn't good enough. You know how they are. And so I don't think Biden's going to win. I think Trump's going to win the election. And even though Trump made these remarks, he's going to win. Because there won't be the turnout that Biden was hoping for from the Democratic Party. It won't be, and it might be neck and neck. It might just be down to the wire between 50-50 split, because people don't know who to turn to and who to trust. But I wouldn't trust Biden. He lies through his teeth. And I don't think he believes all the things that he says. So I think that he's a deliberate liar. And when it comes right down to it, if I had to decide, because I don't like the things that Trump says. I don't like it. I don't like what he says. But and he shouldn't have said it. It was wrong, and it could be considered anti-Semitic, because an anti-Semitic rant, because he shouldn't be speaking for the Jewish people. He shouldn't be speaking for them and telling them how they ought to feel and telling them they should be ashamed. He shouldn't be saying that. But if it comes down to a matter of life and death, okay, and I'm afraid one or the other being in the White House is bad, I would have to pick Trump, because Biden has already said that he's eager for the nuclear Armageddon now, right? He is. I think he is. That's my opinion, but he hasn't said so. But it would be a lot worse for the Earth to have a nuclear Armageddon, a lot worse for human life, and all life on Earth would be endangered, than any amount of climate change. Climate change will gradually undo itself because, plants remove carbon dioxide from the air and they produce oxygen. So we do not want a nuclear winter at this point. That would end life on Earth, and it would be very, very sad. And there's these crazy environmentalists who are extremists that want to see the nuclear Armageddon. They want to be rid of all the human beings because they hate humans, because humans are supposedly destroying the environment. And so because humans are supposedly destroying the environment, they're anti-human. They would like to see mass casualties. But not me. Not me. I don't want to see mass casualties. And I don't think the nuclear winter would be better than climate change. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. So, if it comes down to a matter of life and death, choose life or choose death, I would have to choose life, and I would have to choose Trump, because Biden will lead us down a very dark path. He's already challenging Putin's right to rule in Russia, and the liberal media, you know how they spin everything. Everything has to have a political spin. They can't get enough of political spins. Well, the liberal media said that the Russian elections were unfair, that they were rigged elections. I would like to see them get sued for saying this, and see them squirm in their seats, and see them forced to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that elections are being rigged in Russia. You know, because the reason why I say this is because it reminds me of another scandal recently where the liberal media shouted down and booed anybody who said that the election was rigged in America. And how a company that has voting machines was able to sue Fox News for over $1 billion, and Tucker Carlson got ousted because of this election scandal. And now they're doing the same thing the Republicans did, only it's in case of Russia. You know, nobody minds because Russia doesn't really count, right? Well, it does count a lot, because it counts for a lot because they are a nuclear fueled world power. They have nuclear weapons. They're not afraid to use them. And I don't think that you should be blithely accusing Russia of having rigged elections just because it suits your political fancy, because you con Putin. You know, you see what I'm saying? I mean, just suggesting that they have rigged elections calls up the specter of the last election and the claims that Trump made about the election being rigged. And now he's being criminally prosecuted for saying that the election was rigged. They're trying to criminally prosecute him. All of his followers that rioted that day, all going to jail. And the people that rioted in our cities not too long ago over the George Floyd debacle, they didn't get arrested. They didn't go to jail. They didn't do any serious time for ruining our beautiful cities. The rioters, in one case, got away with it, but in Trump's case, they didn't get away with it. So, just seems like an awful imbalance. And what could it be? It can only mean one thing. It means political bias and a scripted news bias is ruling the day. Scripted news bias is ruling the day. And they get to say whatever they feel like and just expect people to buy it verbatim and not even question, even for 1 second. I don't think the Russian elections were rigged. Maybe they did take people at gunpoint and force them to vote, but it really wouldn't have swayed the election that much. I think Putin won handily, and I don't think that the election was rigged in Russia. I really don't. Um, so Putin, Russia, rigged elections or not? Trump making remarks he shouldn't, but still more viable than Biden. Biden uh, lying through his teeth, shouting and making divisive remarks, and then calling for bipartisanship. Just an old politician. That's what Biden is. And now people are questioning whether Trump is going senile because he's been making strange remarks, like he said, Argentina. I don't know anything about this. This is just hearsay, but he was saying that Argentina, he's a great guy. I like him because he's pro-Trump, something like that. And it was weird that he said it in the middle of a conversation. But they think because he's eccentric, which a lot of brilliant people are eccentric, that because he's eccentric, he must be losing his marbles, or he might be senile, or have what do you call that? Does he use senile now? It's me. Dementia. You think he may have dementia. I don't think so. I think he's just an eccentric man with strange remarks that he makes and lots of quirks. But I'm not going to say he's a good guy, but he's safer than Biden, I think, at this point, because Biden, he may give a really good speech, and he's really good at what he does. But the reason he gives such a good speech is because he's got in his ear, he's got a little microphone telling him what to say. It's a little listening device. But despite the fact that he had a listening device in his ear, he gives a really good speech. And he delivers it well. And he sounds coherent, and he sounds with it. But we've seen him break down a few times. So I think he's teetering on the edge of dementia, Biden is, and I think that he really can't hide it anymore. Just because he gives a really good speech doesn't mean he isn't in the early stages of dementia. And it could get worse in the next 4 years. So, and then we'll have Kamala Harris ruling our country. Who wants to vote for Kamala Harris? No, put your hands down. Put your hands down. Oh, boy. We do not want Kamala Harris for president, let me tell you. And then, of course, there's Trump, and making eccentric remarks, and they think that he's in early stages of dementia as well. But just because he makes eccentric remarks doesn't mean that and then he forgets sometimes what state he's in. It's easy to make mistakes like that. If you're traveling all over the country non-stop and making pit stops at every single state in the union, you're going to sometimes slip up and you're going to forget where you're at. And that did happen to Trump, unfortunately. So all I have to say is that as far as Trump and Biden are concerned, that Trump is a better choice, even though Biden and Trump both have their problems. And I would like to tell you something. I have a confession to make. I'm just going to say they have been removing my videos, and they have been deleting my videos and even banning me from making videos occasionally. And the reason they're doing this is because of the C word. The C word, no, it's not cancer. And no, it's not a part of a woman's anatomy. It's that other C word. And I'm not going to say it, but because I said it, they took down my videos. And I'll tell you what, they told me that they found these videos. Get this. They sent me an email telling me that they used artificial intelligence to find my videos and delete them. Any video mentioning the C word. They used artificial intelligence to find the videos and they deleted them. And what kind of videos were they deleting? Oh, they deleted Poor Whites and the New Master. You know, with a name like that they just could hardly wait to get rid of that video, don't you? They just could hardly wait to get rid of a video called Poor Whites and the New Master. They couldn't get enough. They could hardly wait to delete it. And they did delete it. And they deleted several other of my videos too. And also they've been censoring the comment section below my video. The comments below my video, they've been deleting line by line certain links that I share with you. And the reason they're deleting these links that I share with you is because, guess what? I figured out why they were deleting my links and which links not to use. They do not like Microsoft links. And what you want to bet the reason they don't like Microsoft links is because, hey, Microsoft is their competition. They said that these links from Microsoft were spam and trash, and they deleted them. There were no viruses, and I thought that these Microsoft articles were very high quality. One of them was from Forbes. They actually deleted a Forbes article from letting you see it. They deleted it. So they've been practicing censorship, and I guess they have a right to, since it's a private institution. But where's the freedom, right? Where do you go when you want to be free? So that's that. That's the end. I hope you've been enjoying your purification. I'm sure that you feel a lot better when you're eating more vegetables, adding more vegetables to your diet. It's not saying meat is bad, just saying that you need to eat a lot more vegetables and fruits and vegetables. So, hope you have a great rest of your season. I will be getting back to you when the Festival of the Maiden comes. The Festival of the Maiden comes. I will see you then, and hope that you all take care. Have a good rest of your week, guys. See ya.